These are the 400s, right? I mean, everything's different. I mean, that's
we knew for a while that these motors were coming, and we knew that we would be part of this product launch. So we were counting down the days until the motors showed up at the factory. When they finally arrived, it was awesome to see a refreshed product come out, something new to offer to our customers. And it was cool seeing everyone's reaction when they did roll in.
Yes, totally different. Big. Yeah, they are. About 4.5 inches taller. Oh, shit. To a 450 anyway. First thing I noticed is how big it's all is.
Earlier this year, Mercury Racing came out and visited us here at our new factory, and they asked the owners if we would be part of their new product launch in 2023. The opportunity was, you couldn't put a price tag on it. You know, to be involved in their marketing content, to be aligned with that brand, who's obviously one of the biggest players, if the biggest player in this entire industry. It was something that, from a strategy standpoint and a growth standpoint for the company, it was a no-brainer. We had to get on board with it, and we need people to see our product with the new motors from Mercury Racing on there.
V10 should be in the best of league, but I don't think V10 400R, that's not yet released. Okay, good. First impressions of the 400R when we fired up in the shop. Had a nice deep tone to it, sounded good, was looking forward to get on the water.
We are one of the only boat builders in the Midwest, in Michigan, and testing boats is not the easiest thing come, December. So finding a date to get this boat on the water, to test it and to shoot it, before we shipped it out to go down to Florida, which is, went down to Florida a couple months before the boat show. Logistically, it was kind of a pain, with ice in the water and the weather and everything else in between. And then we run into some small issues that I think anyone can expect with a new product launch. You can't mass produce something so complex as a new engine and not expect to have some issues initially, but that's why we signed down with this program.
Steering is kind of stiff. Steering's fucked. We got no steering. Something ain't right. You got kinked line or? Yeah, it's definitely.
Let's make some straight runs.
Yep.
A quick call to the Mercury Racing team, found out that they changed multiple harnesses. Merc likes to have fun with us installers and keep us on our toes for product changes and harness changes. So it's not the harnesses that we had from the prior engine model all plugged in and worked, just wouldn't operate right. So the team's going to meet us on a photo shoot next week in Sarasota, and they're going to swap it Monday morning with the correct parts because they anticipated issues. So we'll get that resolved.
Off the record, I was making it work.
Yeah, Aaron would have made it work. I wanted to make sure we made it work in the appropriate way.
You can leave that for bloopers.
Yeah.
We want to be the guinea pigs. We want to see how these things run from day one, and we are excited to see how they run at the first year anniversary.
This is the setup. Yeah, so first impressions, I wasn't driving, Aaron was driving the first round, but I noticed the acceleration seemed pretty good. It pulled really hard from like a dead dig on, very strong power curve. Yeah, I was fairly impressed.
Do the same thing, I'll steer you trim.
Yeah, worked.
It really seemed to get up to 77 pretty quick, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we should race the boat together.
Yeah.
The fucking rocket. started with a 25 pitch Bravo FS prop. We've done a lot of testing on the 32, and we know that that series of props is what performs the best, what gives us the best ride characteristics. We have a lot of baseline data, so basically when I found out what the new RPM range was, what the gear ratio was, I just kind of went and looked with the Merc prop calculator app and looked at what our anticipated speed should have been just to confirm. The 25 ended up being the prop that we stayed with. We tried the 26. We could get about the same top speed number, but we weren't pulling the RPM as high as we'd like to. And the boat just felt like it pulled harder in the mid-range and had better acceleration.
Yeah, I agree with that. We also tried something new that people might want to try. We tried a 24 pitch prop with a 26 pitch prop.
This is one motor seeing a different RPM. Like, I feel like that one motor is always all over the rev limiter.
Okay. I wonder if we check the props to make sure they're both the same props in the right boxes.
Well, it's kind of like that each time, though.
All right, well, let's run it. We can go throw the 25s back on there, and then I think we'll have a good test.
Yeah, it's definitely responsive.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure the ones that are on there match.
Yeah.
Are we sure both those props are the same size? It seems like one's over revving and one's way under, but we're gonna go back to the other set. Yeah. It's just tickling 78. We made some height adjustments, so now we want to go back to the other props. God damn it, Jeremy. All right, we're gonna put the other 26 on it and go back out then.
What do you got, 124 or 125?
Yeah.
We have 24?
Oh, this thing's about to run fast.
Starboard's 24? No
Hey.
wonder why it's spinning so high.
Jeremy hooked us up with 126 and 124. All right, so we started with the 25 pitch, went to the 26. Struggling to get the same speed, but one motor is like crazy on the rev limiter and the other one's not. The whole time I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Jeez. We're swapping the 24 out back to a 26.
Oh, I think the 26 is running 80 all day right now.
Yeah, it's got to. We ran almost 79.
We were handicapped.
You are handicapped. See, you're supposed to check my word.
We need a reality show.
You grabbing the right side there, buddy?
Whoa.
Yeah,
It's a 24.
We love you, Jeremy.
It's supposed to be like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was keeping you guys on your toes.
So I had everything. So it was pulling me. I can't steer because I have no steering. It's
tripping it all
RPM.
weird.
The boat's trying to drive like this.
So I started to throttle and trim
I
while
feel
he
like we're
was
racing
steering.
right now. I'm steering. He's throttling and doing trim.
You guys are like a boat team.
Yeah.
Because the trim was so awkward. I'm at like 15% on one motor and 30 on the other.
I was like, I bet you we put the wrong prompts on there.
At least you said we. At least you're smart enough to say we. We both did. You didn't notice it, and
I'm not going to blame you. I'm part of the team.
yeah. I'm here to fuck shit up.
That was like a 2-for-1. We know the 24 is too small and the 26s might be okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
I think we'll hit 80 now.
Yeah, every time you hit the throttle, it pull the boat that direction. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Now I'm ready. Now we should get the number we want to see. Can't believe that.
I'm gonna head towards New Baltimore-ish.
I did a thing. We were all over the place on the jack plate height and lowering it, and we came up with, between the two of us, what we felt the best RPM, tilt, trim, all that. Everything was great. You know, We could probably fine tune it a little bit more with a little more time, a little more prop testing. But I think for the initial start, it was pretty impressive.
Nice set of jack plates on the first one.
Yeah.
Thank you to Bob's adjustable jack plates.
It would be nice if they're electric though.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna lie. We just press a button.
So if we run a smaller prop, a lot of times we'll drop it deeper to get it in water a little bit better, a better bite. And if we're running a prop that's on the big side, sometimes we'll kind of cheat by raising the jack plate to see if we can let the prop slip a little bit to run the RPMs where we want. So it's kind of a game.
I'd like to see 80 out of this thing. You know, honestly, I think you're right because we didn't have to drop these as far. Look at where they're at. You know what I mean? Because it's notched and cut up into the top. So we might have to go back to our 2 3/4 original.
So a lot of times you might get the RPM out of the big prop, but you're not really gaining the speed because maybe your efficiency or your prop slip's going up. So it's kind of just a big balance to see what works right. I always said in a boat, to me, speed is not about what the GPS is showing you, it's what the feeling is. You know, if you shut the speedo off on the boat, no one has any reference for speed. So now you're really looking at speed as how does the boat accelerate and how does it feel? If a boat accelerates really hard and it pulls and people have to grab the handle on the back of the helm seat to hold on, to me, that is a fast boat. It's not about the number. You know, we've all been in catamarans at 120 miles an hour on a smooth lake, and it feels like you're doing 60. So speed is just a reference of a feeling. We're gonna try this 25s again. Now we can't spin them fast enough. 78, but it's not. It's 6,200 RPM. We're getting there. What did we get so far? What was the top speed?
79.4.
79.4 is the number to beat so far.
We want that. That's why we're not getting off the water until we at least hit it once. You want that extra half mile? I'll get you that extra half mile. Well, I think for an NA motor, they're going to be very impressed.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, considering this is no supercharger, which typically means a little bit better, for maintenance, longevity, for a naturally aspirated motor to run and pull harder, I would say, than the 400R with the supercharger is pretty impressive. So yeah, as far as that, I mean, to me, it's kind of a new replacement, I would say, over the 400R as far as cosmetic styling, the new cowling. So I think that's going to be a big upgrade. Just the motor looks modern. Yeah, I think what I'm excited about is some direct comparisons. It's hard right now, it's cold, we're out there doing a quick prop test, but if we have a boat coming through the summer, maybe with 400Rs and the new 400s, or running a poker run to do a direct comparison of like, hey, like how much pull does this have over the previous model engine, and actually get some better time in the seat.
Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? Saluditos. Let me show y'all how the beat goes. Come on, get down con el ritmo. If you don't know, let me teach you. Bienvenido. Been a long time since I've seen you. Ay, bendito. Nothing but love. Bienvenido.
All right, Kyle.
All right.
This is unseen footage as of today. Nobody
I
has
might have
seen
had
this
I might
footage.
have had some previews while we were on the boat, just to say that.
Oh, you were there, so.
Yeah. So this shot here was basically right out of the hotel. This causeway is actually the one coming into the Marina Hotel area in Sarasota Bay.
Ooh, that was a smooth shot.
You know what, the funny part about doing the FPV stuff is we really didn't know what their plan was. So, they're telling us where to line up, and they would give us this command, go, 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 and tell us like, hey, make sure as soon as we tell you to take off, you take off, hit a certain speed. They were trying to get it to where the drone was flying in from far away and trying to get it to a line to where as soon as they came up with the boat was on plane running. So once we kind of realized like what they were trying to do, it was pretty cool. It was a cool concept. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. I think that drone was like an 85 mile an hour drone with like a 4-minute battery life, so there's a lot of battery changes. So there's one time where they're having us do the high-speed passes on a parked boat, and the guy's like, well, get close or whatever, and at one point they had to radio me to like not get so close. Which I wasn't like But I think we're kind of getting close enough where we're getting some spray as we pass.
Yeah.
So we're watching the one on the beach right now. I mean, we probably went back and forth 10 to 15 times.
You were so close to shore in some of these. Look how far off.
Okay, yeah. So this beach, they would talk to us and kind of prep us and say, hey, like this beach area is nice, secluded. There's nothing in the background but trees. Try to run close to the beach. And like me and Joe kind of looked at each other and giggled and said, hey, we can run 6 feet off the shoreline if you want. They just said, all right, well, run as close as you want.
It does feel like you're like 6 feet off the shore.
We talked to a couple, there was a guy fishing and there was a boat parked on the shoreline, so we made sure that we were courteous. We stopped up and tried to tell the guys without giving them any information about the product release, just saying, hey, we're doing a photo shoot, we're going to be doing some running shots for a couple minutes. Everybody was nice and courteous about it.
I gotta ask, how did it run?
I was going to say, when is that going to come up? I guess from a top speed standpoint, this is the third 400. So, it's not really a big horsepower gain. It's a new product, but I'll tell you what, on our 32, we said that thing, it's like driving a drag car. The acceleration from like a dead dig to top speed is very linear. When you take off, it just pulls hard all the way to the end, to the point where on the photo shoot, there was times that both the helicopter and the chase boats were telling us, like, hey, give us a little bit of time. And our 32 with twin 400s is like driving a sports car. It is gone. So yeah, we actually had to slow down a couple times because people couldn't keep up with us from a dead stop.
Did you hit 80?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So we tested on the water here. We tried, I think, 3 different props. It was, I don't know, what was that? 20 degrees, windy. We're out in the bay. No power steering. Just so me and Aaron are out there running the whole time. Brad's got great audio of that. And the whole time we're just trying to hit 80. And we would get so close, 0.6 miles an hour from 80. And me and Joe were there, full tank of gas, and I think later the first day we started burning us on fuel, we finally hit 80 a few times, and it was like, that was our goal. That was what we told Mercury was our goal. So yeah, I guess on a top speed, we haven't hit 80 yet out of a 400, so it is a more powerful motor.
How does it feel seeing the product that you guys have worked so hard to refine over the years displayed like this?
It's cool. It was a big, I think it was a big deal for Sunsation. Like I said, we've wanted to do a part of a product release for a long time. There's a lot of attention, a lot of hype built up around these releases. And I think to be one of the manufacturers there, not only with the product, but with a product on a new build, going to the show is going to be amazing. So yeah, really cool experience, and I hope we get to do it again.
Yeah, do you think that'll happen?
Yeah, I want it to happen. We told them, like, hey, they really commended us. Me and Joe were actually the only owners that were there from a manufacturing standpoint. We made it easy on them, they made it easy on us, and if we could help again in the future, I would love to.